Yerik, ALZHANOV.
Time to get our next bout underway. And once again, the Wolves are howling for this man, Yerik ALZHANOV, the only other man alongside Alimbekov in tonight's Kazakh lineup that has WSB experience. 2 fights, 1 win, but unfortunately for him, 1 loss to Jablonski of Poland in week 5.
En la esquina de Domadores de Cuba, Ramon Luis.
And his opponent tonight, world rank number 2 on the WSB rankings, 1.81 m tall, absolutely full of character. Ramon Luis, 4 fights, 3 wins, 1 loss to Musalov of Azerbaijan, but a middleweight with a lot of class, a lot of character. Should be entertaining at this 75-kilogram division. So confirmation of his debut season so far. Pretty solid wins over Greke of Poland, Efremenko of Russia, and Mercado of Mexico. Decent win against Mercado.
En la esquina de Astana, Arlans de Kazakhstan, Yerik, ALZHANOV.
So ALZHANOV, limited experience in the WSB, but at least he has been out in the ring before. But Ramon Luis looking tremendously confident ahead of this one. Sultan Sharma in charge of this one. And away we go. Cuba Domadores with yet another southpaw. 4 in a row before we get to their first orthodox boxer of the evening in Savon, in the heavyweight division. Two very solid middleweights out there. First minute of every fight has been a carbon copy so far. Koshinsky, the Kazakhstan head coach, telling his fighters to go out and take it straight to the home fighter immediately, whereas the Cuba Domadores men been just covering up a little bit, just taking a look. ALZHANOV, orthodox stance. And that was a heavy, heavy shot from Luis. Just takes time to find your range, takes time to just get used to the movement of your opponent. Again, ALZHANOV not interested in backing away. A lot of work by Luis down low at the moment, just trying to work the body of ALZHANOV and then move up in a combination to eventually end on the head. I don't know how many more of those ALZHANOV can take. He's getting hit fairly consistently in the midriff. First big clutch of that first round. I don't think either man too interested in throwing any more punches, so a bit of a tame finish to that opener. But fascinating stuff. First 45 seconds every single time from the Astana Arlans men has been fast and furious. Get in there, try and land the punches, just try and unsettle the Domadores boxer. Cuban team showing a lot of maturity, for some beyond their years. A very close opening round, but I think that's got a lot to do with Ramon just not throwing the punches in that first round. Didn't do a lot of work. As always, what he did do was quality. So ALZHANOV, front foot immediately. Just watch how much work Lewis is doing to the body. Decent headshots on that occasion, but he's spending a lot of time concentrating on ALZHANOV's body and just trying to let's push him away to line him up. That's nice work. Good left from the Cuban.
Break. Stop. Break. Step back. Box. Head up, head up. Break.
Well, a lot of movement, but not a massive amount of scoring shots from either man. Both proving to be very slippery targets at the moment. Can almost look casual, can't they, the Domadores fighters sometimes, but don't be fooled. When it's time to party, then they will be there. Again, Luis trying to unload with the shot and get out of range. That's a nice effort from ALZHANOV. Did manage to just tag his man there at the end of that round. But he's finding it very, very difficult just to get to Ramon Luis. Fast and furious raids from the Arlans man. He's trying to get in and get out very quickly. It's not a particularly stable platform to hit from. It doesn't give you a lot of chance to put combinations together, and Ramon Luis just happy keeping him at distance. I think we'll see him just gradually increase his work rate. Yeah, that's gone the way of the Cuban fighter, 10-9.
Seconds out.
But this one's still close. ALZHANOV not out of it.
Tercer round.
Box.
So third round of 5 in this middleweight contest. ALZHANOV in the gold and black trunks up against world rank number 2 Ramon Luis in the white trunks for Cuba, who seems to have a little problem. Seen him clear his nose a couple of times now. Doesn't seem all that comfortable.
No holding. Break.
Good shot. ALZHANOV certainly giving as good as he's getting in this round. Arlans' coaching staff nervously watching on. Kuzhinsky will be taking in every single second of every bout here, storing it away. And that phenomenal boxing mind of his. Just worked out what the haircut is on Ramon Luis. Looks like he's got a fabulous spider fashioned into the hairstyle. So far hasn't managed to trap ALZHANOV in his web. But Yerik ALZHANOV's problem is he just hasn't been able to get to the Domadores man. Not on a consistent basis anyway. So closing seconds. What has been a very cautious fight, and ALZHANOV just cannot find his range at the moment. Ramon Luis, very comfortable movement around the ring. You just get the feeling that ALZHANOV is not that far away from walking onto something quite big here. He's going to have to be careful. He's got away with it so far. Well, it's certainly what's made some of these WSB matches fascinating over the last few seasons. Fighters meeting each other that not done so on a regular basis in international competition. It's been interesting watching them scope each other out. Ramon Luis picks up another round, and more points in his favour, and now just has a little bit of a cushion for these final 2 rounds. Is there a sting in the tail of this one? You just get the feeling somebody's going to land something in a minute. It was pretty solid from both men, and again ALZHANOV hanging on. Came off second best in that one. He's not stopped his endeavour, moving forward again. Both men throwing some pretty good combinations. That's a nice straight right.
Step back. Step back.
Roman Lewis finding his way through to ALZHANOV this time, and ALZHANOV just slowing down a little. Once again, that combination being worked. It's a lot more compact from the Arlans fighter. Slightly shorter range of punch means that he can get a few more away, but Roman Lewis is a strong boy. Every time they push away from the break, it's ALZHANOV that is sent scurrying away across the ring with an almighty shove from the Cuban, and that's a great shot. Really good right there from Ramon Lewis.
Break. Step back. Break.
Once again, just a phase of this round where there's been a lot of work, not too much landed, and both men now, I think, starting to feel this pace out there. Once again, the steady application of pressure from the Cuba Domadores man. Just a reflection of the experience that a lot of these guys have, and he's got a cut there. Just above the right eyelid. Nothing serious, I'm glad to say, but it'll certainly be something for ALZHANOV to focus on in the last 3 minutes. It is that overall quality of performance from the Cuba Domadores men that is noticeable. Their ability to acquit themselves in these very tight situations. Another point going in favour across the board for the man in the white trunks, and away we go. That's a decent shot from ALZHANOV, right on that area where the cut is. It's more of a nick, really. And ALZHANOV is certainly up for this at the start of the 5th and final round, but a good response from Ramon Lewis, and these two boys now have definitely come to the party. Very low hands from Ramon Lewis. A little bit of footwork to go with it, but ALZHANOV having none of it. Not been quite as much composure from Ramon Lewis as we've seen from 3 fighters that have preceded him this evening here in Havana. ALZHANOV won't like that. But again, just Focuses that steely glare on his man and follows him around the ring. But it's the home boxer, Ramon Luis, that's holding all the cards.
No holding. Stop. Box.
So into the last minute.
Break.
Can ALZHANOV find anything here?
Stop.
And, well, I thought I saw a little bit of blood. And there it is. It's ALZHANOV
Head clash. Head clash.
that has the blood on him. And, well, a head clash has been called by the referee. And both men look to be marked up. I'm not sure if all the blood is coming from Ramon Luis or whether there is a little bit of work required here. Yes, there is, right on the top of the forehead. And the doctor going to have a look at both men just to make sure we can continue here. Yeah, it's another little nick has opened just above the eyebrow. There's one just below it and one just, or maybe even two just above it. The clash of heads was called by the official. And there we go, that's it. So that is an unfortunate finish to this one. Fairly hefty head clash, as sometimes happens when two men are going for it. Especially when they get tired towards the end of the round, and you can see how much that nick has opened up. That is significant. Well, that wasn't immediately evident until it got cleaned up, and that's why we've got so much blood. That is a huge cut just above the eye of Ramon Luis, and in terms of the remainder of his season, then that definitely puts a question mark over it, and that's the risk that the coaches take every time they put their fighters in. It's a tough whole season, and when you get to the business end, there is not a lot of time for recovery, and that's going to need a lot of work on it. So Ramon Luis comes out second best here. A TKO. Now, where did the head clash occur? Certainly wasn't a punch thrown by ALZHANOV that would have done that. There's a clash there. Ramon Luis dipping into it just as much as ALZHANOV was. And unfortunate for the Domadores man because he was on top, but let's see exactly how this is going to be called. Certainly a stoppage for the damage done. With that nasty cut just above the eye of Ramon Luis. Started out as a nick, but rapidly expanded. Was looking like it was going to be a very straightforward 5-0. It's temporarily been stopped in its tracks, and well, that is an unfortunate injury for Ramon Luis.
Resultado del combate. Juez de Brasil, 50-45. Juez de Ecuador, 49-46. Juez de Eslovaquia, 48-47. El vencedor por votación unánime de los Domadores de Cuba, Ramon.
So still goes with the Cuba Domadores fighter. Let's hope that cut can be sorted. Winner on points as we got into the 5th round. Both men look to be cut, which is why the fight was brought to a close. But for Ramon Luis, well, it's going to be a nervous couple of weeks there with that cut, to wait and see whether that can be sorted out. But once again, a very, very stiff test for him, but it means 4-0 on the card for the home side.